So made a few changes. Did the feature customization. Pontiac's Trans Am actually comes with this kind of interesting feature customization thing, and so I kind of customize it, tailor it a little more the way I'm used to with my old car. Which actually I can get video of my old car now because it's light. So I go through the whole list of stuff, but the number one thing, the reason I did that right now, is because usually for all my cars I make it so that way when I have the doors open, that kind of thing, the lights are not on. And yeah, right, it's just like, yeah, it makes it a little tougher to get in if you have a dark interior, which the Honda out there is got a black interior, so at night, yeah, okay. But it does save battery power, and honestly, lead acid batteries are pretty horrible on their cycles. Like lithium ion is one thing, and then you get these lead acid ancient batteries that these cars are using, and so I try to reduce the strain on the batteries as much as possible. So that makes sense, and I set up the remote control or remote and stuff, and the alarms. Well, I ran across, and this is the reason I've taken my camera back out again. If you've been keeping track of my saga, there's a lot of water down in this where the T-top receptacles are, and I actually am pulling out the T-top receptacles and everything so I can get to the carpet and see if there's rust underneath, because I really would prefer that there wasn't rust underneath for obvious reasons, but have to make some do for the worst possible occurrence. So this is the water down here. Again, it's kind of dark down there, but that's the water. You might even be able to see my reflection. Hi, Mom. But so I've been this ongoing saga has been me looking for why there's water in the trunk, right? Because water in the trunk of a car is not normal. And so, found a lot of water in here, and I originally started pointing at this hole over here. It was a fairly large hole. It did have the original, what is it, this thing right here. The power antenna rubber cap. I don't know what to call it, seal, I suppose. But it didn't seal very well because the power antenna wasn't going up through here very well. It wasn't going all the way up and sealing. So I actually pulled the power antenna out altogether, and my goal is to find a plug that will plug that over. However, I was scanning up along here, and you can see the the weather stripping. It looks okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It seems it's fairly soft. Let's push that down, make sure it's down. I was coming down here, and oh, what do we have here? Well, I pulled this off already. It wasn't pulled off, or it wasn't pulled off during that time, or else it would have been really obvious. Oh, it just wasn't seated. Well, I pulled this off, and this interests me. Right along here, this metal, right here in particular, is bent, and noticeably, it's rusting. So, I'm going to run along here, and we get a little bit more. So this whole area, which has been a trouble spot for all Trans Ams apparently, I've heard from a number of people and some of the guys on LS1 Tech that it's a bit of trouble where the water kind of builds up along this channel here and then pools right here because we've got this big thing here, not a very good idea, and so all the water just starts finding a place to go. So that probably doesn't help it. So I need to find out what I can do to kind of, fix that, hopefully. And just for argument's sake, you can't say it's normal because over here we find perfect. It is perfectly straight. Well, not perfectly straight, but it's pretty straight. And it fits in nicely. And there's no gaps. No strange, odd kind of gaps down there. So, that's the update, particularly for me, because I think this may have something to do with it. And I really hope there's a way to fix that, because I really don't know how to fix that sort of thing. I don't know about, doing Bondo or anything like that. I would imagine that, it's a minor thing here. It's not super, super intense. So I think something is, they have bad stories with Bondo and stuff like that, but all it is sealing off something so that way I can attach the rubber weather stripping back to it That's it. So, yeah, I mean, I can feel right now this thing does not seal very well. It's actually difficult to put it back on right here. So I'm going to point to that and say that that has a lot, if not maybe everything, to do with this huge amount of water down here. What else? The amp is still back here. I've disconnected all of the wires except for the battery cable because I don't know how these switches down here work. And if you know, then, you know, please let me know, because it would be much easier just to tug these things out. I already pulled the screws out of here. Those are all kind of okay. But it is Alpine. Oh, down there, Alpine. So, you know, that's my brief update. And I think I may be calling it a day because I can't get the T-top receptacles out because the sockets that I have are not deep enough to go in here. I got deep sockets because I knew I'd have to have them, but I had no clue that it was that deep down in this bottom one. So there's one up here and one at the bottom. And this one is, I mean, my finger barely touches that even right there. So that's my update. And that's a lot of trash. And actually, it was kind of appalling as part of my record keeping. What was kind of appalling for me was opening this thing up, and then all this wiring is kind of exposed right now, but it was originally duct taped. How do I know? Because that's the duct tape. And some of it's even attached to my shoe. Lovely. And masking tape, and so back at, you know, open up the back of the car and find all this duct tape and stuff in there. What a shame. So lesson to be learned: if you're looking to get a car that has been modified electronically in any way, shape, or form, not even, you know, including electronically, but then I would strongly recommend that if they let you pull the carpeting out and stuff like that, try to get a look back here, because this is where a lot of shoddy craftsmanship was done for my car in particular. That's okay, because I intend to keep this car, so, you know, I bought it for however much, and it's never pretty much gonna go up in value. And I'm honestly, once I tear out most of this stuff, it's just gonna stay like that. I'm not gonna replace it with anything. It's just add more weight. So we're going for the Superleggera Trans Am. Maybe I'll have to do that. I'll get Superleggera and have it in vinyls or something on the side. That'd be great. So now that it's light out, this is my car. It's a 1999 Pontiac Trans Am without the WS6 package. It's just a base model one, but honestly that really doesn't matter. You can get yourself a WS6 hood and nobody would be the wiser until they open up your hood, in which case you should replace it with an SLP lid anyway. So it's all for the looks really, but that's okay. It does have the optional WS6 size in wheels. They're black, so it's, oh, actually the camera picks it up just fine. These are Corvette ZR1 wheels. This is the C4 Corvette ZR1 wheels. And frankly, I actually like the way they look, but I'm not sure about their weight. I'd actually have to take them off and see if I can, you know, have them weighed, see how much they weigh. But they are running 275, 17, what is it, at 35, I'm guessing? 45, maybe? What is it? Toyo Proxys at 275, 40. Okay, 40. ZR. 17, and then they're rated at 98W, which is pretty darn fast. And I like how somebody decided I'm going to put gum in my wheels. I don't know who did that, but somebody did. What else? So the car is white, obviously. And those 275s are all the way around. That's a good thing to point out, because some people go with the staggered look. The previous owner didn't go with the staggered look. I like the staggered look personally, but it makes it troublesome when you're, you know, doing service and stuff like that. The wipers are as you would be for really old cars, really crappy. One of the two headlights doesn't work. This one doesn't work, unfortunately. But, you know, I'll look into getting that fixed, certainly, because that's kind of a necessary thing to get fixed. Well, actually, it's not necessary. I mean, you know, this one works fine, but it definitely looks really goofy. And then we have the, this is kind of a minor accident, I guess, happened. I'm not even sure what happened. The previous owner said he's had it like this for a while. It does have the optional fog lights and the side markers. A cracked side marker, actually, and the owner actually pointed that out to me, so I'm glad he did, because those are in a place where you don't normally look. The common issue with Firebirds of all kinds is this cracked dash, and this is in particular very bad in this car. It's actually very bad indeed. My ambitious side says that I'm going to try to make one, make one, fabricate one, I guess is a better way of saying it, fabricate one from carbon fiber, because carbon fiber is stronger, and it flexes it doesn't dry rot like plastic does, as far as I know anyway. And heck, they wouldn't use it on cars if it dry rotted. The tires do need to go, in spite of being Toyo Proxys, which are actually good. I've actually looked at reviews on them, and they're actually not too bad. In spite of that, they do have to go because the tires are actually very old. And so I drove on the way back, and the car was incredibly antsy. The front ones, or the front left tires over there, are almost bald even. And then obviously the back, it does have the aftermarket Alpine speakers. It came with the Monsoon 6-speaker surround system. It was all well and good. Let's see if we can pull it open without banging it up a little bit here. Though, honestly, the paint, it's definitely one thing that I want to do, is have the car completely repainted, because white is my least favorite color. I got my tools all down in the corner there. But it is a full leather interior. Side bolstering is pretty sad, honestly, but it's... Let's see here. You can actually, what's kind of cool is we have power windows, mirrors, and locks, and then the locking mechanism is down here as well, so you can actually see it. But because I didn't even know where to look for it initially. It does have, like I said, the Monsoon 6-speaker. It does have the front speakers with the tweeters. And we have power. Let's see here. Power adjusting seats, so it goes up, down. And for both sides, so it goes up in the front, or up in the, down in the front, up in the back, down in the back, and then forward, backward. All power. And then these are kind of neat, the lumbar adjustments and things like that. It adjusts upwards and downwards. That's telling me it's all the way up. Let's see if we can see what it looks like. Yeah, you can see actually. This one adjusts the side bolstering, which is really neat. I haven't had time to play with it. I really do need to take some time and play with it. But since I'm not using it as my daily driver yet, we got here the sills are pretty wide. Obviously, the car is very wide to begin with, but you're losing that much in space on the inside. I'm gonna pause the video for a second here to try to reset the counter.